I'm walking here! I'm walking here!
You read too many comic books.
Well, some people just got faces that stick in your mind.
Run, Forrest, run!
Coming to you from the studios of Video Productions Northwest in South Hill, Washington, the Puyallup South Hill Rotary Club welcomes you to our 2021 Gold and Silver Virtual Auction. Tonight, we present A Night at the Oscars. Hi, everybody. It's so good to virtually see you here at our 2021 Gold and Silver event. I'm Kevin Bates. I'm a member of the Puyallup South Hill Rotary Club, and it is so good to see you tonight. The Puyallup South Hill Rotary is all about service above self. We have been since our founding in 1984. We've been around the Puyallup South Hill community since then, doing all kinds of really cool stuff in our community. We provide emergency shelter for homeless families. We've been doing that for almost 30 years now. We provide up to $15,000 in scholarships for high school students that are going to go on to college and trade school for the next part of their lives. You're going to hear from Charlie later with the YMCA about how we partner with them, with our kids around just improving their education and their fun. This is going to be fun. We're all about fun at the Puyallup South Hill Rotary Club. We have a goal tonight to raise at least $30,000 to provide to fund some of these really cool things we do, and we want you to be involved as part of it. Some of you may remember some of our gold and silver events in the past where we go down and we're all together. This year, it's about safety, it's about security, while continuing to provide and being involved in what we do. So it's a little bit different. As you know, this is going to be a virtual auction tonight, okay? And this is going to be brought to you through the help of this website called handbid.com, handbid.com, handbid.com. It's very easy. This is a free event. A lot of you are already registered, but if anybody's joining us for the first time, you'll need to go out and get your paddle, your virtual paddle, on handbid.com. So the way you do that is go to handbid.com. I've said it 4 times now. You should be able to find it by now. You want to find events up in the upper right-hand corner. Find events, and in there you put in gold and silver. Search for that, and this will pop up. Our event is going to pop up. You're going to hit the register tab. This is free registration for our event this year. So you fill out the information. It's going to ask you some contact stuff, some other information, and you hit that register button. Then from there, you're going to get a link right to your computer and right to your phone. We're living in the future. We're living in the future. You can do all of this from your own desk, from your couch, from your car if you want to, not while you're driving, but you can do it from anywhere. There's even an app if you want to do an app if you're one of those cool kids. I'm not a cool kid. I'm going to be on my computer. So whatever's easiest for you, that's the way you do it. If you have any problems, we have a crack team of crack staff ready to help you out. All you have to do is text 253-625-3104. Again, that number is 253-625-3104. And Olivia will help you with some of those questions. If you're already registered and on the website, all you have to do is go down to that bottom right-hand corner. If you need some help, there's a red tab that says, "How can I help?" You hit that red button, and that will help you. That will guide you through to get help in that way too. So that's it. There's a lot of cool things out there to bid on. I'm going to tell you about a couple of them here throughout the history of our program here. But there's going to be some people out there that don't need anything and they don't want anything, but they still want to be a part of what we do. Guess what? There's a donate button. All you got to do is go up to the upper right-hand corner up there and hit the donate button, and then you can contribute to our work in the community. So thank you so much for participating in our auction, for buying some really cool stuff, or for donating to us directly. We're going to have a lot of fun tonight. And as we get started, I'm going to introduce our president, Suzanne, and she's got a few words for you, and I'll see you in a few minutes.
Hello, I'm Suzanne Johnston, this year's president of the Puyallup South Hill Rotary Club. We're grateful for your participation tonight, for your attendance. I hope you're comfortable at home with family. We're having a virtual event for obvious reasons, but this gives you a chance to snuggle up, get comfortable, have a drink, have some dinner, snacks, whatever you like. We're here to have fun, but most of all, we're here for a serious purpose, to raise funds to continue the projects of our Puyallup South Hill Rotary Club. What are those projects, you might ask? Well, we own a couple of duplexes, and with those duplexes, we're able to house 4 families who otherwise might be on the streets or living in their cars. If you can imagine children having to live in their cars or on the streets, it's heartbreaking. So with this temporary shelter that we have provided to these families, the families are just able to get kind of the ground under their feet, even over a few months, to get stabilized so that they can then have a better future going forward, a more stable future. Every year we give scholarships, $10,000 in scholarships to very deserving students from Rogers and Emerald Ridge high schools. These kids are dynamite. If you get to meet these kids, as we get to at our Rotary Club meetings, you can see the accomplishments they already have at their young ages and the ambition that they have for the future. It will just knock your socks off. Whether they choose college or a vocational school, these kids are going to be great. They're from our community. We're so proud of them, and they deserve our support. A fun project that we did just this year at the very start of the pandemic, we installed a story walk. What is a story walk project, you might ask? I have an answer for you. Well, we bought the rights to a children's book called The Bugliest Bug. We enlarged each of the pages. They were huge. They were like 24 inches by 18 inches. Each page was huge. We took the pages then and put them under a plexiglass cover, water sealed, and installed all 15 pages at Wildwood Park. What this does is give our families and children an opportunity as they're walking along the path at Wildwood Park to stop at each of the stations, read the page of the book, perform a little activity at each site, and then move on and to the next page until the conclusion of the story. It gets families outside. They have exercise, fresh air, a little bit of interest in reading. It's a plus, 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 and it's been so successful that we're talking about doing another story walk project this spring or summer, as circumstances allow, at Bradley Lake Park. It's going to be fabulous. We purchased, with another Rotary Club, a freezer truck that we bought to give to the Puyallup Food Bank. This truck allows the food bank to take advantage of economies of scale. They get a bigger bang for their buck. And with all the food insecurity in the world today, we're just delighted that we were able to create some efficiencies for the food bank. That's essential. So why is this important? That's the past, but we do want to continue into the future, and you are part of our future. We ask you tonight to open your hearts, open your wallets. That's what tonight is about. Not only to have a good time, but really to invest in our community. Our sponsors, we thank you so much for all you have done for us, for all you continue to do for us. From the bottom of my heart, I'm truly grateful, and we thank you very much for your participation.
Thank you so much, Suzanne. It's so wonderful to have you as our leader during this most unique Rotary year. Right now, we're going to throw it to Greg Horn, who is our district governor this year, and Greg's going to tell you a little bit about Rotary's most important example of service above self. Take it away, Greg.
Hi, I'm Greg Horn, district governor of Rotary District 5020. Let's go back in time just a little bit. The year was 1930 on an isolated farm in the middle of North Dakota. The farmer and his wife just had twins, Jerry and Jane. They were happy little kids, out playing, doing what kids do. And then when they were 4 years old, they came down sick. They were diagnosed with polio. Thankfully, it was a very slight case of polio. Jane recovered completely. Jerry, well, he walked with a limp his entire life. And why is it personal to me? Jane was my mother-in-law. Her daughter, Mary, is my wife of 44 years. Let's fast forward to 1950. I was a young child. Polio was once again endemic in the United States. The crippling effects are absolutely horrific. It takes the muscles and the legs primarily and shrivels them up, and it's a lifetime sentence for deformity. I was terrified of polio, and it affected my life, just as COVID is affecting people's lives today. I couldn't go out and play with my friends for one summer. We didn't know what was happening until Dr. Salk invented that amazing vaccine that cured polio for a good part of the world. Well, now We're in about 1980, and polio was still endemic in half of the world. A doctor in the Philippines decided to eradicate polio there, and he did it in 3 years with the help of all of his local Rotary clubs. And during that time, Rotary International heard of his success, and they decided to make it their major mission to defeat polio forever. No one organization could have done it by themselves, but Rotary is the driving force that brought together the Centers for Disease Control, the World Health Organization, UNICEF, and the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. And together, we formed something called the GPEI. That stands for Global Polio Eradication Initiative. They've been doing this for 35 years, and we finally got it down to the virus is just contained in 2 countries, Afghanistan and Pakistan. In 1985, when Rotary declared its mission to eradicate polio, an estimated 350,000 unfortunate people came down with polio. This year, that number is 138, but we need to get the numbers to 0, and we need those numbers to be gone for 3 years. Why is this important? As long as a wild polio virus is anywhere on the face of the earth, it has the ability to spread. We need to stamp it out once and for all. Thank you for supporting the Gold and Silver virtual auction and all of the Rotary clubs around the world. And thank you, Puyallup South Hill Rotary. They are helping to stamp out polio.
Greg, thank you so much for sharing to us about how much Rotary International is involved in the elimination and eradication of polio. I know that's something that a lot of us in a younger generation don't really think about, but frankly, it was just as dangerous, if not more so, than some of the stuff we're dealing with today. Greg, thank you so much for your leadership for our district. We're going to hear a little bit more about Greg later, but for right now, we're about ready to go into the auction itself. I'm going to go through a couple of our items. These live auction items are live right now, but if you haven't registered yet, now's the time because we're about ready to get into this thing. So, all right, here we go. We've got to stay at the historic Palm Springs Tennis Club Motel. When you think Palm Springs, many people out there are thinking Palm Springs, that equals Bob Hope. Bob Hope has an unbelievable history with the Oscars. Many of you know that he actually hosted the Oscars 19 times between 1940 and 1978, including the first time the Oscars were done on TV, which was 1953, and the first time the Oscars were in TV in color, that was Bob Hope. Bob Hope actually won an honorary Oscar that year also, mainly because it was a through line in all of his jokes. In fact, he wasn't that good of an actor, so they had to give him an honorary Oscar. But Bob Hope and Palm Springs are one and the same, so enjoy your stay at the Palm Springs Historic Tennis Club Motel. Our next live auction item is a pontoon boat ride on Stillicombe Lake. This isn't just a little hour-long ride on Lake Stillicombe and they drop you off on the dock and have you going. It's an entire day full of games, fun, and food and drinks. It's offered in the summertime. It's offered July or August. You can go out in February or March if you want to, but when you go boating in February or March, some things happen like getting hit by an iceberg and sinking. We're not going to let that happen like it did to the Titanic in 1998's Titanic. You can't talk Oscars and boat movies without mentioning Titanic. 11 award nominations, 5 wins, including Best Picture, Best Director for James Cameron. He was the king of the world at the time. Greg Horn, our district governor, will be your captain for your pontoon boat ride around Lake Stillicombe. So make sure you bid on this one. I'm going to be bidding against you on this one. I hope you win it, but if not, I'll take it. And we're going to do it in the summer. All right? Have fun bidding. Another live auction item we have up for bid is a home-cooked vegetarian Indian meal by 2 of our Rotarians. When we were looking for live auction items for our virtual event this year, this couple came to us and said, we want to provide this food and we want to provide this experience for them. Any of you that love Indian food, this is going to be the one to bid on. When you're talking vegetarian food and Oscar movies, how do you make that correlation? I can do it. The 2008 Oscar winner for Best Animated Picture was a movie called Ratatouille. Some of you know it. It's about a rat that cooks gourmet food against all odds. The key scene in Ratatouille is when Remy the rat cooks a vegetarian dish to win over his biggest critics. It is amazing, and I'm laughing just thinking about it because it's one of my favorite scenes in a movie of all time. I'll have Austin cut that scene in to show you. It's an amazing thing. Go ahead and bid on this item. This will be one that won't be missed. Our next item up in our live auction is a round of golf with former Seahawks player Randall Morris. Randall Morris played running back for the Seahawks for a few years back in the 80s, and now, since then, he's actually started the Morris Foundation that provides assistance for youth and families in the communities of the Pacific Northwest. When we reached out to him to ask him if he could help us out with the event, he said absolutely he was on board. Not a whole lot of Oscar-winning movies related to golf out there, except for those of you that know Bob Hope. Bob Hope was a golfer. But also, one of my favorite movies is The Aviator, the biopic of Howard Hughes starring Leonardo DiCaprio. There's an incredible scene in The Aviator where Howard Hughes flies in and grabs Katharine Hepburn to go play a round of golf in LA at an LA country club. Kate Blanchett actually played Katharine Hepburn in that movie and ended up being the only actress to win an Oscar for portraying an Oscar-winning actress. So that was pretty interesting. It's a great movie. Go see it. But before you go see that, bid on this round of golf with Randall Morris. You're probably not going to see Leo or Kate on the golf course, but that's going to be okay. You got Randall, and you got whomever else you're going to bring. All right, our next item up for our live auction is a fly fishing instruction package in Jackson, Wyoming. This is going to be a 3-part class and experience that includes all of the equipment, all of the instruction, and an incredible experience for those of you that like to fish. This is actually going to be held in Jackson, Wyoming. There's a video out there on the Handbid site that tells you a little bit about the community of Jackson, Wyoming. Absolutely beautiful part of the country. And that beautiful part of the country actually showed itself with a Best Cinematography win in 1993 for the movie A River Runs Through It. That's the only fly fishing movie I know out there. It's certainly the best of all of them, if there are multiples. Again, Best Cinematography in 1993. This was actually directed by the dreamy Robert Redford and starring the even dreamier Brad Pitt. So go out and check out that movie, but not before you put your bid down on the fly fishing package in Jackson, Wyoming. All right, here's our last live experience on our live auction bid tonight, and it is a 7-night trip at the park, all-inclusive. I forgot to say that. You got to be all-inclusive when you got a trip at the park at Copper Creek down in Chandler, Arizona. Chandler is just a community right outside of Phoenix. Now's the time of year to bid and win this thing and go because it's actually beautiful down in Arizona right now. This all-inclusive package includes all chef-prepared meals, swimming pool, exercise rooms, walking trails, everything right there. It's an incredible place down there. When you start talking about Arizona and movies, of course, you're talking about Westerns and some of the old Westerns and some of the wonderful stuff in there. But my favorite movie that has a setting in Arizona is Forrest Gump. I mean, Forrest Gump spent 2 years, 7 months, and 30 some odd hours running back and forth across this country. But where he ended was in Monument Valley, Arizona. So I'll have Austin cut in that scene for you. Incredible movie, 1995, best actor, best director, best film, 7 wins. Go out and see Forrest Gump, but only see that after you go out and register for the 7-night stay at the park at Copper Creek in Chandler, Arizona. All right, the last item we have tonight for the live auction is an incredible art piece. It is it's to call it jellyfish paintings is no way accurate enough for what this is. This is an incredible 3-panel piece of art, oil-based paint, and done by a local artist. It's absolutely incredible quality. These jellyfish paintings are so incredible that they would make it in the background of some pretty cool movies, some pretty cool animated movies out there. Don't even have to be animated. They could actually be live action as well. Whether it's your Jaws or your Finding Nemo or Finding Dory or Titanic, actually, if it was that deep, but we already talked about Titanic. Anyway, folks, go out, take a look at these jellyfish paintings and bid to win on those. And as you do that, keep on scrolling down. There's so many other items out there. There's experiences, there's other works of art, there's food, there's trips. Go out, have fun bidding, open up your hearts, open up your wallets, bid to win. It is all support for our community, as we've said before. And to tell you a little bit about a story about why we do what we do, I want to introduce Charlie Davis. Charlie is with the YMCA of Pierce and Kitsap counties. He's going to tell you about an extremely important program that our club decided to fund called the Power Scholars Program. We devoted 3 years of funding to this program, and I want Charlie to tell you all about it. We can only do that with your help. So here's Charlie.
Hi, everyone. So great to be here. Really, truly an honor. My name is Charlie Davis. I'm currently the CEO of the YMCA of Pierce and Kitsap County. I like to tell people more, though, that I've been in the Y for 37 years. I'm proud of that because it's a lot of people I've gotten to interact with over the years. You know, I have a strong history with South Hill Rotary. I worked at the Melcorum Y for 3 years back in 2004 to 2007. Got to meet many of you. I've just been a big admirer of your work. You guys, every meeting I get to go to, you bring energy and fun and professionalism, but you bring commitment. Really, to do this auction virtually, that's commitment. I'm impressed. I don't know how you feel about the virtual and being on Zoom meetings. Personally, I think it's great. Great because it's an expression of how we've had to adapt. We've had to be resilient, right? Our lives have been turned upside down, and yet we figured it out. So I applaud this auction. What a great expression of your commitment to the community. You know, I was at recently participated in a national leadership conference, virtual. It was amazing, right? They had speakers beaming in from all over the country, breakout groups and high-level engagement. I got taken by this one speaker. He talked about a mentorship group and how it got formed in inner city Baltimore. Tough community. They wanted to make a difference in the lives of teenagers from tough neighborhoods. So they rolled out their commitment, but they weren't well received. Nobody wanted to line up with the mentors, and they were kind of shocked. But they were not denied. And they over and over, they kept knocking at the doors. He said they had to knock multiple times. And eventually, they started to win the trust of the community. See, that's what he talked about. They weren't received because there was no trust initially. And he broadened that vision. He's talked about, we've been in a pandemic health crisis, but we're also in a pandemic of trust. That there's no trust in our communities, but he gave us hope. And he said the hope is the frontline organizations, the grassroots organizations like Rotary and the YMCA. I was so impressed how you guys reached out to us and we formed a partnership. Shan Vipon, someone I've had a long-time connection with their family, Steve and her son were active in the Y. And she said we had a book club and we read Malcolm Gladwell's book, The Outliers. And they said they were taken by the message of sometimes you're just born into circumstances where you're behind in life, that you just start off without a chance. And they said, we want to do something about that. We want to participate in helping a young person out, extending a hand. And we worked on the design of the program and we came up with Power Scholars. And we met with Edgerton Elementary School and we said, talked to the principal and the teachers, and they said, they identified 20 kids who could use some help, who were facing difficult circumstances. We got a call from a mother. In fact, she showed up at our YMCA, and you could tell there was a cry of desperation there. And she said, my son is struggling. I'm a single mom. I'm a nurse. It's hard for me to give Cody what he needs. Is there a chance he could be in this program? And we said, of course. She said, there's one more thing. Cody's on the spectrum. He struggles to fit in. We said, we'll take him in. Bring Cody in. First 2 weeks of the program, Cody struggled mightily. He was not fitting in just like in school. But then all of a sudden, you start to see a little progress. And that turned into a little momentum. And all of a sudden, Cody was thriving. I got invited to the graduation ceremony. I love those things, right? I was, excited to see this Cody. I'd never met him. I walked in and I immediately knew who it was. It was this young kid just beaming with pride because he was graduating from Power Scholars. He got his certificate and I saw his mom just crying with joy. That makes it all worthwhile. You should feel great about your vision coming to fruition. The partnership with the Y in South Hill Rotary has been a strong one. We're making a difference together in kids that need a helping hand. So I just want to say thank you for that partnership. We are so grateful for the opportunity to work together. And thank you for your commitment to your community, because that commitment is making a difference in lots of people's lives. Thank you and God bless you.
Boy, I tell you what, if you're not fired up after hearing from Charlie Davis from the Y, I don't know if there's anything else we can do for you. Charlie is always such an inspiration. I love hearing him speak, and he's part of the reason why this club decided to invest in the Power Scholars program for 3 years at a total of $75,000. We can't do that without you. So thank you for your support of our club as we support the work of Charlie and the Y. Other things that we support, I'm not just a Rotarian. They allowed me to MC this thing because they know I like to talk, but I'm not just a Rotarian. I'm not just an MC for tonight, but I also serve as the Chief Executive Officer for Helping Hand House. We provide emergency shelter and other housing solutions for families in our community, ending their crisis of homelessness. And we have been a partner with the Puyallup South Hill Rotary Club for over 25 years in doing that work. The only way we could do that work is with that partnership with the Rotary Club. So as you partner with Rotary, Rotary partners with folks like Helping Hand House. So 4 years ago, I joined this Rotary Club to support Helping Hand House, but I remain in this club, and I am a Rotarian because we are changing lives every day. All right, that's our program. Bidding is open until 10 p.m. tonight. Now it's all up to you. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. And as we wrap up, I want to give a huge thank you to our sponsors for this evening. This doesn't happen. All the video production, all of the online content, and the auction items themselves don't happen without our sponsors. You're going to see some list of some stuff behind me, a list of our sponsors. Go out and support them. They are local. They are connected to our community. So as you want to support other things in our community, go see these sponsors. So I also want to prepare you. I want to make sure that you know that we have our gold and silver raffle drawing that will occur tonight at 10 p.m. The results of that will be on our Facebook page. So go out to Facebook and search Puyallup South Hill Rotary and find our Facebook, and you'll find out the winner of that $1,000 drawing at 10 p.m. tonight. And that's all we got to say. Please stay safe, stay well. We can't wait to see you in person again someday soon. Thank you so much for your support, and we'll see you very soon.
I am a Rotarian.
I am a Rotarian.
I am a Rotarian.
I'm a Rotarian.
I am a Rotarian.
I'm a Rotarian.
I feel like I'm a part of a family.
I felt incredibly welcomed.
I'm a Rotarian because of the friendships.
So I'm a busy working mom, and my husband and I have 2 daughters. And so I really do want to set a good example for them for service above self.
And that speaks volumes to me as a human being in service to others.
It was an opportunity that I've been looking for to give back to my community.
And how much can you do for your community when you're an individual? Why not do it with a group of people, and you're going to accomplish so much more?
And we have such fun projects.
One of the first things that struck me was not only the people, but for me personally was really the 4-way test, because those were the values that I was raised with.
Is it truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned?
It's not just a service organization, it's a leadership organization.
I joined Rotary 31 years ago and have never regretted it.
And so I've recently come back to Rotary, and it's just been such a welcoming, almost like coming home.
And I truly enjoy just being there.
I love being a part of this group because we are a bunch of like-minded business owners that want to do good in our community.
Rotary has given me a clear outlet and a clear direction for where I can serve, how I can serve, and when I can serve. That's why I'm a Rotarian.
And so it's been an honor to be part of this group.
I am very proud of what all of us have done. We are Rotarians.
We are Rotarians.
We are Rotarians.
We are
Rotarians.
Rotarians.
We are Rotarians.
We are Rotarians.